Thank you everybody for being tonight at the ONA meeting for October 6th, 2025. I am with Councilor Marjorie Grace, Ward 3, Councilor Lodge, Tony Gross. Councilor Franklin Joker will not be here tonight. Is there anybody online that you can see? So we'll start off with CC 2025-038 Menhart, amendment GCO chapter 22, traffic and motor vehicles, section 22-270.1, resident sticker parking only, by amending Hammond Street for its entire length, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. May 1st to September 15th. This is continued from September 15th, 2025, and this will be continued again for 2 weeks from tonight. Next on the agenda, we have CC 2025-39, gross, amend GCO chapter 2, administrations, article 5, boards and commissions, councils and committees, division 1, generally regarding 1-year residency requirement. Councilor Gross, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. We all know that a lot of discussion happened around the zoning board of appeals requirement for a 3-year residency. And out of that those conversations came a sense that possibly, or that it might be a good idea to have a 1-year residency requirement for all the boards and commissions, except for, I think there's 2 that have professional outside members who are don't necessarily have to be one's a tourist commission, I believe, and maybe the historical commission. I don't quote me on that, but there is 2. And it just seemed that it would be a good idea that people live here for at least a year to become somewhat familiar of the flavor and the feel of the town and how it works and what goes on. And so I don't think I don't think it's a stretch. I don't think it will handicap us any more than what we are already on getting people to sit on boards and commissions. And I think it's important that they have had a commitment to the city, and they get to understand a little bit by being here of who we are. And this has all been had a lot of assistance with legal. Thank you to Rocco. And that's any questions.
Councilor Grace, do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, I mean, we discussed this at length at council level in regard to, kind of bringing everything into across the board to be the same, which we did. And at that time, we also discussed if we felt that it needed to be addressed again and add a 1 year or 2 year, whatever the case may be, that we could do that. So that's basically what we're doing right now, is what we talked about already. And I don't think it's a bad idea. I agree with Tony, but have people, come in and kind of get to know the land, get to know the people, make some observations before they jump into something. So I think it's great.
Nope, and I too also agree that Tony did a lot of good work with this with Rocco. It's important for people to understand that just because you just moved here doesn't mean you don't love it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people move here because they love this community. They love what they see. They've either been here on vacation or for business, and they fell in love with it. And certain people bring certain expertise that is valuable to us on our boards and commissions. And Tony, I think this is good legislation, and I will be supporting it tonight. With that being said, Marjorie, do we have a motion?
We do. Committee recommendation move to recommend that the City Council amend Gloucester Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, Article 5, Boards, Commissions, Councils, and Committees, Division 1, generally as follows. Add Section 2-402, Statement of Intent. The purpose of this amendment is to establish a 1-year residency requirement for all volunteer, non-elected boards, commissions, and committees in the City of Gloucester. This policy is intended to ensure that individuals serving in these important advisory and decision-making roles have a demonstrated commitment to the city and understanding of its unique needs and a lived connection to its residents. requiring a minimum of 1 year residency will: 1, promote informed and community-focused decision-making; 2, strengthen public trust by ensuring members have firsthand knowledge of Gloucester's history, culture, and priorities; and 3, ensure members have had sufficient time to become acquainted with the city's operations, neighborhoods, and ongoing initiatives. This change reflects our belief that local governance works best when guided by people who are familiar with the community they serve. Add section 2-403, 1 year residency requirement, unless otherwise provided in the Gloucester Code of Ordinances, the city charter, or applicable statute, where an ordinance governing appointment to a multi-member body requires residency or does not explicitly provide for the appointment of non-residents. Any individual nominated for appointment shall have maintained residency in the city of Gloucester for a continuous period of at least 12 months immediately preceding the date of appointment. Add section 2-404, residency requirement definition. For purposes of section 2-403, residency means domicile within the city of Gloucester. A person's domicile is their true, fixed, and permanent home, established through both physical presence and the intention to remain permanently or indefinitely. Temporary absences for purposes such as travel, education, or medical care shall not constitute a break in residency, so long as the individual has not taken affirmative steps to establish domicile elsewhere. Evidence of residency may include, but is not limited to, a valid driver's license or Massachusetts ID card with a Gloucester address; 2, voter registration in the city of Gloucester; 3, payment of local property taxes as a resident; 4, utility bills or lease agreements in the resident's name at a Gloucester address; and 5, documentation demonstrating consistent physical presence and intent to maintain Gloucester as one's home. Delete section 2-402-2 through 2-409 reserved. Add section 2-405 through 2-409 reserved.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, so next up is to be continued, CC 2024-0 Thoroughfare Grace, amend GCO Chapter 22, Traffic and Motor Vehicles, Section 22-270, parking prohibited at all times, in Section 22-291, totally zones regarding Whittemore Street, Curtis Square, and Washington Street, referred back from the City Council September 23rd, 2024. 5, sorry. And I'd like to bring this up in the first meeting in December,
Okay.
okay? Previous recommendation voted on, and I don't think we have to go for that. Okay. And Hammond Street is gonna be continued for 2 weeks, and we don't have that in front of us. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. It's not about looking at every piece of sand. And just, Hammond Street, something we're gonna bring back in 2 weeks. We're just trying to wait for traffic to weigh in on
Municipal,
Yeah, it's coming back like a bad.
Hammond Street.
Yeah.
Well, people couldn't